Are you seeking guidance on your spiritual journey? Need help with a vexing problem? Missing a loved one and looking for answers? Look no further than Psychic Insights, a small trusted psychic service offering mediums, psychics, and spiritual coaching. This service is managed by Hollis Taylor, a gifted psychic medium, astrologer, and a compassionate coach. We are dedicated to helping you navigate your spiritual awakening. At Psychic Insights, we provide medium readings and psychic insight to help you plan for tomorrow and make choices for today. Find the support you need, compassionate grief coaching, and astrological insights to help you spiritually grow and transform. Our professional services include well-managed schedules, recorded sessions, and reliable psychic mediums ready to facilitate your transformational experience. Discover more at psychicinsights.life.
Hello everyone. Good evening. Happy Wednesday, or could be Thursday where you are. Hi, Amber Sanchez and Linda Brodnicki. Thanks, Kristen. We appreciate that. Kristen said hi to both of us.
Hi, Kristen.
Good evening, Alyssa. And Leah, hi, welcome. We're so glad you're here. Hi, Shauna. Hi, Shauna. And over in the, I've been really struggling with Facebook recently. Hasn't always been. Okay, it's finally working. Hi, Carly Scott in the Mediums group. And hi, Sue McKelvey. We're doing pretty good so far, so good. If Facebook cooperates, we'll be doing real good. It doesn't always cooperate. They force you to do this crazy stuff to go live in a group, and then you do all this stuff and it doesn't even work. So it's a little frustrating sometimes. But I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad everybody's tuning in today. And I hope that you're able to tap in tonight. We're going to be doing some readings with Sarah. Hi, Michelle Brown. Hi. Okay. And then hi, Melissa. We have Melissa Martin Rosenkrantz. And then hi, Melissa Adcock over in YouTube. Thanks for being here. Welcome. Hi, Kathleen. Right. Alyssa's like, gotta love the tag. Hey, it's almost over. It's almost over, Alyssa. It's like 4 or 5 more days and we're done. It's almost over. Mercury retrograde is almost over. Hi, Nandita.
Nandita.
And yeah, so what I'm hi, Arden Sloan. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Welcome there over in the Mystical Connections group. And I appreciate all of you for being here today. We definitely are going to be doing some spirit-led readings. First, I want to just chime in and remind you that if anyone messages you or any craziness like that, that's not us. We won't do that. We won't message you. We won't ask you to send money on PayPal. We will always send you to psychicinsights.life. And that's the beauty of us, is that you can count on having several mediums all at one place at psychicinsights.life. It's really actually quite good for you. So hi, Jennifer Brown over in the mediums group, and Makwa and Pamela and Nancy Garbett. And hi, Lynette. I'm sorry, Sue. Sue, if you have to, go over to YouTube. You can catch us on YouTube. Divine Androgen. Just look up Divine Androgen Spirituality on YouTube. You'll find us. Hi, Jennifer and Makwa and Nancy. Welcome. I'm glad you're all here. Yeah, it's kind of amazing. Actually, sometimes I think YouTube is better for that reason anyway. Hi, Bianca. So, all right. So what we're going to do tonight. Yeah, I know, Kathleen. Best thing you could do is just block them, sweetie. Just block them. Just block them. Report them to Facebook. Facebook actually shut one down. They've shut a couple down in the last few days. I've been fascinated by it. Okay. Yeah. See, Melissa's like, that's why I'm on YouTube, because Facebook sucks. Ah. Hi, Heather. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do spirit-led readings, which essentially means that Sarah will start channeling a spirit and giving you the best description that she can, and your job is to figure out what matches. Now, it's easier if you, when you comment, that you say, yes, this matches. Yes, yeah, they look like that, or everything matches. Okay, so just let us know exactly what matches and make it a little easier on all of us. And all right, Sarah, so do you have anything you want to say, Sarah?
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone who joined us tonight. Your kindness and support means so much to me. A little bit about myself. I was able to hear spirit when I was younger, but being a child, I didn't do much with it. It wasn't until my son passed on November 26, 2021 from COVID complications. It happened very fast. And after he passed, I wasn't ready to say goodbye, so I learned how to say hello again. My son, Jonah, he helps me bring your loved ones through. So how he shows, I don't know if any of you ever seen like on movies or been to like a club setting where there's like the bouncer and he shows, he has those like poles with the velvet rope thing. That's how he shows me. And he's like, okay, next. I've always shared a picture of my son because he's the reason why I'm here. So this is my boy. His name is Jonah. He was 20 years old when he passed, so just a month shy of his 21st birthday, which is next week. And I also want to say thank you to Hollis, because I first joined mediumship, communicating with the dead, grief, and loss, because I was in search of other mediums. And then I met Hollis and I had the discovery meeting with them. And, I was a mess, but I got brave and told Hollis how I wanted to learn how to connect and what I was doing. And instead of them turning me away and saying, oh no, you have to be born with it. No, instead Hollis said, well, go for it. Trust in yourself, believe in yourself. And that's the one thing when you get a private reading with me, and if you come to me and say, hey, I want to do this, I tell them exactly what Hollis told me, is to trust in yourself, believe in yourself. And, that's not even just for doing mediumship. It's an everyday, because I know, just like everyone who's joined tonight, how hard it is to be on this road. How many times you want to just say, you know what, I can't do it, and give up. But not only am I rooting for you to not give up, so is your loved ones. And whether you want to become a medium or not, don't just believe in yourself for that, but believe in yourself every day. Those days where it seems impossible to get up, but you do. Well, you know what? I'm proud of you. So with that, let's begin. And again, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. And thank you, Hollis, for having this faith in me. It means a lot.
You're totally welcome. And just want to say hi, Jolie. Kathleen said, makes me cry every time, Sarah. Your strength is incredible and it radiates love. I agree, Kathleen.
Thank you.
And I agree, Alyssa. Sarah's a beautiful person, huh? Yeah, big love to you. Lots of people are giving you lots of love. They love to hear your story. They love to hear what you have to say. Carly Scott says, because Hollis is the bomb.
Yes, they are. Oh, so before we actually start, the one thing that I read all in the, like, everyone's posts, and the main thing that people come to me in my readings, and I feel it too, is when we'll get signs from our loved ones over and over and over again. And then all of a sudden it just seems like it stopped and we get scared. Well, recently I felt that way. I felt my son wasn't around as much, and I chalked it up with him just teaching my dad the ropes. My dad passed in October. But at the same time, like everyone, it bothers. So last night, I was scrolling through Facebook, feeling sorry for myself. And I came across this. I'm going to try to share it and hopefully everyone can see it. But if it wasn't a clear sign from my son letting me know that, hey, Mom, I'm still here, then I don't know what is. And I'm sharing this with you to also give you hope that your loved one is never far away from you. But so if you see Bugsy, since my son was little, I used to call him my bugaboo. And then it turned to Bugsy and then Bugs. So for me to randomly be scrolling and happen to see that and see Bugsy right there, and I just knew that that was my son saying, hey, be patient with me. I'm busy, but I'm here. So I just wanted to share that with everyone. So, don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. Your loved ones they're there. And, even if you don't feel them or get the signs, don't worry about it because they'll never leave you. Okay.
Yeah, and Amy said the grief from losing a child is so overwhelming. Yes, and that's why anyone that's lost a child, I always say, just go to Sarah, because I feel like Sarah is compassionate enough to truly understand, I think even if it's a baby or something, I just think that I have a son, but he's alive. So I just feel like you probably would have a better understanding of that.
Thank you. I wish I didn't, but thank you. I wish.
Well, there's got to be something good that comes out of it, eh?
That's true. Okay, so I'm sure we're all ready and anxious to get this started. So, in the words of my son, let's get this party started. It's funny, he never actually partied, but he had a sense of humor. So I do have a gentleman stepping forward. I would put him, I want to say like mid 40s, early 50s. He's taller. I would put him between 5'12", maybe 6 foot. He's wearing glasses. He has a really oval shaped face. He was balding on top, so he kind of had that like a bit of cul-de-sac look. His hair on the side, it's shorter, it's a darker brown. The glasses that he's wearing, they're more of a round and they're wireframe. Oh, sorry. He's a little bit on the heavier side. When he smiles and he shows his teeth, he has these like little gaps between his teeth. I do feel that he is a father figure. Sorry, I'm just asking him to step a little bit closer. I do feel that there is some shyness about him. He does have a quiet personality that I can take, but he was very much a family man as well. He's letting me know that his wife, in his eyes, is gorgeous. He's showing me she's petite, blonde. She has kind of a curl to her hair. Her hair kind of comes just below her shoulders. I do feel that she's still on our side of the veil. He's just letting me know that he would dote on her, and always, he says, I always have to pinch myself because he goes, I always felt, what's she doing with a lug like me? You know, he keeps on showing me like cheerleaders. So I'm not too sure if they might have been to school together and she was kind of like that cheerleader type. And he was not. He is saying that he was more of like bookworm. He is good with technical stuff. I do feel that he might have worked in something where he would have to fix. I keep hearing like engineering.
Okay, there is a couple of people. Jenny Hughes in the Mystical Connections group said, it sounds like her Uncle Jay, but I'm not sure. She hasn't said anything in a minute. Tell us what matches. And then Arden said, that kind of sounds like my grandma and my grandpa. Wait a minute. I kind of like lost it. Arden said, and my grandpa when I see him in visions. Arden said, he also appeared younger. She was a cheerleader and a model. So I don't know if does that still make sense? Yeah, I guess it does. And then hold on. Then they said he was an industrial engineer.
Okay. Would you understand, because he's kind of making me feel like he might have had some stomach issues. So I'm feeling almost like my stomach's kind of like just feeling uncomfortably full and a little bit like the heartburny. And he's showing me he keeps on like, what are they called? I think they're like Tums that, for, I can taste like the chalkiness. So I do feel that he might have took something like that, or for an antacid.
Probably. The only reason I say is because I know there's some medications because he had colon cancer.
Okay. Would you understand that?
She said that he ate Tums every single day.
Okay. So he's just kind of. Would you understand that? A lot of times too, when it was like he's making me feel like he would get like almost like an overheated sensation. And he's telling me that he tried really hard not to let his illness show to family members. I do feel that his wife was always by his side, he's saying my wife was like, she tried to get me into like fitness and she was an amazing cook. But for him, where he was just kind of always on the go, he would eat more like fast food, like, something quick.
Interesting. She said, ironically, I found his old bottle today.
Oh.
So he might be validating that, Arden. That's why he's bringing it up. Like, why else would he tell Sarah that, you know what I'm saying? So he might be trying to validate to that. She said that, she's also validating some more things. She said he would get overheated. He was on, steroids and tried to hide his illness till he died. And she was by his side till he died. They always pushed each other to do better. Sweet.
So I do feel that I am with you, Arden. You spent quite a bit of time with your grandparents growing up, because your grandfather is showing me. So he's showing me, like, even though he was busy with his work, he would try to make time to spend time with his family. And I feel are like his older children and then like smaller children. And I keep on hearing grandpa. So I think that's him indicating that the smaller children are his grandchildren. Your grandfather, even when he wasn't feeling his best, he just had a way of making everyone feel welcome. And he's showing me, like, one of the children doing something funny, and he's like has his like belly laugh, but then at the same time he'd kind of like go like this, because just that momentum of when he laughed, shaking his belly, it would kind of cause a almost, I want to say, like a flare up. So the message from him, he's just saying, take time to enjoy like the little things in life, like your family. I know money makes the world go round, but you can't take it with you when you're gone. And yes, you can leave money for your family, but what is important is the memories. So I'm not too sure, Aiden, if you've been kind of more distracted or busy. I do feel that your grandfather's just saying, take time to slow down. I know that's easier said than done. Believe me, I know.
She said, I got chills. This is so accurate. And then, just trying to bring it over here. She says, I got chills. This is so accurate. I have to bring it over from the group, because she's in the Mystical Connections group. She says, I've been praying for a sign from him literally just yesterday.
Well, I would definitely take finding his bottle of Old Tums a great sign. I wouldn't a more clear sign than that, and for him to make me taste them. I wouldn't have mind if he just made me just showed them. You couldn't get me to try Tums of, but so I do just want to say that he's sending you so much of his love, and he does say, I'm proud of you, kiddo. But he does say, slow down, take a breath. Do you still visit with your grandmother?
She's saying, I'm at his old house right now, she said. So that's fascinating. That's interesting, Arden. Yeah, it's very strong. He's very clear. Has messages for you.
Does he have it looks like a lazy boy?
She's saying she's at her house, at her grandmother's house right now.
Okay. In the living room, did he have like a special seat? It almost looks like a brown leather lazy boy to me. But would you notice, especially right now, your grandfather had a distinct kind of cologne. It to me, it almost smells a little bit like not firewood.
Oh my gosh. She just said, oh my gosh, you guys. Ready? I am sitting, you're not going to believe this. I'm sitting on his lazy boy couch right now.
Oh, that's amazing. So the smell he's making me smell, it's like, I want to say it's a men's cologne, because it has that earthy kind of spice to it, but it's brown. That's amazing. And it's like, I don't know why I keep on, that smell, not from like, say if you're camping fire pit, but it really reminds me of like Christmassy. I don't know if it's because it's the season, but are you kind of getting that? Do you get that hint of that smell, especially now, because he's making it so strong to me? I do see right now him sitting beside you on that couch, and how he shows me, I see you, but you're like solid, and then him, he's kind of transparent. That's how spirit lets me know that they are around. Would you understand him putting his hand kind of on your knee and like patting it, and then putting his arm like kind of behind you and patting your shoulder? So I don't know if you can feel that right now, but that's what he's showing me he's doing.
She said that he was very musky, like a cologne. She said it was a musk berry.
Okay, so very earthy, right? Very.
Yeah, I guess like a earthy, musky smell. She also said, someone, when he tried to connect with me, I smelled it. Sometimes, I think she means to say. She said someone, but I think she means like sometimes.
So that's awesome. That is one of his indicators of letting you and his other family members know. I feel that you can notice it more in his house. And I know some people would be like, well, it's his place, but you can tell, just like with my son's room, still the same, but I can tell when he's in there because it's like
the smell is stronger. Yeah. She's saying it's earthy. Yes. She said yes. She said she meant sometimes. She's sorry, but she's shocked right now. I'm not shocked. Sarah does this every time. She's just like, she'll just flatten you. All right. It's amazing.
Well, the main message that he has for you is, again, he's very adamant. Okay, I'm just going to say it because he's saying it. And I don't know. I feel that he's saying that it's something he heard his children and grandchildren say. He says, my dear, slow your roll. So, and he's laughing about it. He thinks it's funny. He does want to let you know that he is in no longer any pain. He's apologizing to me for making me feel that, but he just said that he didn't know how to show that it was an indicator, like kind of like, hey, this is me. He's a very sweet man. But his message is just, take time. He says, everyone feels like, they'll have all the time in the world, but sometimes that's just not how it is. So, take time to really focus on what's important. And he keeps on showing me family, and he shows like family, and then he goes like this, like a home. And he said, and just, self-care, self-love. But he is very proud of you and proud of everything that you have achieved, and that you still help your grandmother. He says, give her a kiss for me and a hug.
Sweet.
He's showing me for your grandmother, and I'm not too sure if she can validate, but I see he gives her a kiss on the forehead, on the temple, on the cheek, and then he turns her chin like this and kisses her on the lips. So I'm not too sure if that was like a pattern that they did.
She said that he used to say it was a Dungeons and Dragons joke.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. No wonder he's easy to hear, Arden. He's probably really high vibrating, because she said that he gave all of his money to charity and pediatric cancer patients.
Oh, wow.
So no wonder he's so high vibrating. It's easier to hear high vibrating spirits. Just is.
He's such a lovely man. You're very lucky to have known him in life, and I feel very lucky to meet him briefly now. So thank you both so very much.
That's so beautiful. And I just want to say that a lot of people are like, wow, fantastic. Betty Cooper in the mediums groups was like, I love this reading. This is beautiful. Wonderful. Somebody tagged Sabrina. Hope Sabrina makes it. What a beautiful message, Amanda said. And Betty said, what a giver. I appreciate. So I guess Betty's also appreciating that he's a giver, right? And what a kind man, says Tammy Worthington. And all kinds of people also over here. Hey, Angie.
I am.
And Nandita said, I hope my man comes through today. Amber said, amazing, Sarah. Beautiful, Sarah.
Thank you,
And
Chris.
Alyssa gave you some hearts.
Thank you, Alyssa.
And even Nay is saying that's beautiful. We hear you. Hi, Melissa. Welcome.
Hello.
So yeah, so lots of people. Oh my gosh. Arden says, she said, thank you. I feel so much better. She said she's going to cry from happiness. It's okay to cry. Just going to say. It's always okay to cry. It's always actually a good idea to cry, actually. So
Yes.
let it out. Let it out. Hi, Pam. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Pam, welcome. Lots of new people in the group. Lots of people chiming in today. Welcome. Eva said, beautiful reading for Arden. You're amazing, Sarah.
Oh, thank you, Eva. So I do have another young lady stepping forward. I would put her, I want to say in her 20s. She had shoulder length, straight. It's very light brown. She's showing me up close. Her eyes are blue. She's got freckles. She's really giving me Avril Lavigne vibes. So I do feel that was like kind of one of her icons. That's the word that I keep hearing. And she's like really into that look. She keeps on playing this one song, and I really wish I remember who sang it, but it starts off, I hate the world today. Da, da. I'm not saying that she hates the world, but that's just the one part. I apologize if I offend anyone, but it's that one song. I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner and a saint. It's funny because she's like looking at me, and as I'm singing it, she's going like, yeah, you know. She's thin build. When I see her and the feeling I get, she's just full of life. You know, she has that edgy but yet softness about her. She's saying that she was definitely a daddy's girl when she was younger. And then she's indicating that when she hit her teens and kind of found like this rocker girl vibe, she says, sorry, Dad. She goes, I know it freaked him. That's her words. It freaked him out because he was used to her being pink and his princess ballerina. So I'm not too sure if the ballerina part was an indication that she might have did ballet as a child, because as soon as she said that, she did show me it looks like a younger version of herself in a pink tutu. So she is showing me too that, yeah, she did know how to skateboard. She said that was kind of her way of getting around as a teen. And she was saying that especially her father, you know, he's always offering to give her rides places because he just wanted to make sure she was okay. She is indicating to me that I do feel her way of passing, it was an accident. It was very sudden. I do feel that she might have got hit by a vehicle. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm seeing her on her skateboard, and then it just happened really quick. I see a vehicle, and then she's not showing me her, but I see the skateboard kind of like wheel away, and I can hear the commotion. I'm not too sure if anyone can take her. The one thing she is showing me that she liked turtles. And I feel that she may have had a pet turtle, because I'm seeing like a tank, and I see her like putting like leaves in there, and she was just typical teenage girl. She said that she liked giving off that edgy rocker vibes, but she was very respectful of others. She was great around children because she's showing me her helping and like sitting. I feel that when she was in school, in the older grades, sometimes got them to read to the younger grades. So she's showing me her kind of sitting in the hallway. She is wearing Converse, and I see like another child like younger than her, and she's kind of like helping them read. So, and she says, "Don't let my looks fool you. I am actually big, kind-hearted." Would anybody be able to resonate with her?
Carrie Smith said, I hope someone claims her. You're welcome, Kaylee. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Please just listen in at the evidence that Sarah's bringing through from the spirits, and let us know if that matches for someone. Hopefully that person, if you want to, you can maybe recap that person.
Yeah, I'll just do that quickly. So the way she's showing me, I want to say that at the time of passing, she was in her early 20s. She was showing me some memories where I would put her in like high school. She had very Avril Lavigne vibes, and I do feel that she liked Avril Lavigne and that type of music. She has shoulder length. It's like a light brown hair. She would do the thicker dark eyeliner, but her eyes were blue. She has like a little bit of freckling on her face, not a whole lot. She was thin build. She knew how to skateboard. So when I say like Avril Lavigne vibes, like I'm talking about when she first came out. So she did dress a lot like her. I do feel that her passing had to do with an accident. I want to say she got hit by a car on her. Well, I'm not going to say car, but a vehicle while she was on her skateboard. She was very caring, compassionate. She had a very strong relationship with her father. At least that's what she's making me feel. She showed me that when she was younger, she did do ballet, and that her changing from Pretty in Pink ballet princess to rocker girl was kind of hard for her dad. But she's also saying, even though my look kind of scared him, he knew that I was still like a good kid, that I wasn't doing anything bad, or, she was really good with younger children. She's showing me her sitting and reading to them. I do feel that when this happened, it was in a school. So I'm thinking that, I know some schools here, they have the older grades go and read to the younger elementary class.
I wish they were that smart, but not usually.
Right. And then she did like turtles. I'm not too sure if she had a pet turtle or if she had access to being able to like interact with turtles on a one-on-one, because she's showing me like a tank, and I see maybe it's a tortoise, because now that I look closely at the tank, it's more of a dry tank. So I see like the brown mulch in that. And then, but anyway, she was showing me that she was giving like lettuce to this animal. I do feel that she was leaning more to being vegetarian. And the reason why I'm seeing this is because she's showing me it. She's like, I see who I believe is her father. So he's taller. He has like really broad shoulders, kind of like the muscly type. But he's cooking steaks, and she's like, and she's like showing me like carrot sticks and that, and she's like, this is better. And I think that was kind of like their back and forth, because he's like, meat is good too. But I think at some point in her younger teenage years, it wasn't so much that she was trying to rebel against her dad. It was just more she was trying to find herself and what made her her. So the one thing she's just saying, and I do feel that it is for her person, that might not be in the group tonight, but hopefully they'll see this message. She just wants to say, Daddy, I'm okay. I love you. And she's just saying, she says, Dad, she goes, I didn't suffer. It happened really quickly. I do feel that maybe that was something that her father's been thinking about a lot. She says, take care. And I think she's laughing because she goes, don't be afraid to try some carrot sticks and hummus. You'll like it. And she's laughs. So if this is your daughter, she's okay. And she loves you very much, but you don't need me to tell you that. So I'm just going to thank her for coming through, and I'll see who else is here tonight. So I do have another gentleman stepping forward. He's tall, but then again, I'm 5'1", so everyone's tall. I would put him, I want to say he's between 5'11", 5'12". His hair is black. He wore it parted to the side, and like on the side here, you would see the part. Short hair. He has a mustache, kind of thicker. His skin tones, it's not like dark. It's more, I guess, what you would call like the olive skin tone. He's laughing at me, and he says, I'm not green. That's not what I meant. He's saying he says that he's honey brown. So he has a good sense of humor. How he's showing me, again, he has like, he holds himself like where his shoulders are kind of, like they're very straight. He's showing me him wearing a collared short sleeve shirt. It's white, and it has burgundy striping going down. He's wearing almost like a darker brown pants, and he's wearing dark brown leather shoes. He shows me that he has a gold watch. Oh, Nadia sounds like,
yeah.
Sounds like
she says it sounds like my man. Nandita, does that still match for you? The watch? I don't
know. So how he smiles, he has a way of like smiling on the one side, especially where it would make his eye like at the corners a little bit crinkled. And would you understand him saying, and like he kind of talks with his hands, and he goes, well, you asked, and here I am. So I do feel that I am with Nandita.
Yeah, I don't know. She She said till now, yes. So I don't, maybe just the watch didn't match. I don't know. She's not being specific enough.
Okay. So, sorry. Would you understand him holding out? He's holding out a single red rose, and he's just saying, he goes, you know what you and this rose have in common. He goes, your beauty is beyond compare. He goes, just like this rose, people see it as delicate, but if you look closely, the rose has its own way of protecting itself, and he pokes his finger on the little thorn.
So yeah, Nandita, he had a silver watch and a golden wristlet. I mean, come on. I think what Sarah says matches. Yeah, to the rose, and then she's saying, yeah, it's my man. Okay.
He's joking, and I do feel he had a really good sense of humor, but he's joking, and he goes, you forgot about me already. And don't take that to heart, because he's laughing, and he goes, I'm kidding. So he's also kind of a Casanova, romantic towards you. I feel he's letting me know that he'd like to write poetry.
Okay. She's saying rose is the symbol that I guess she looks for.
Okay. He wants to say that he is very proud of you. He goes, I know it's not easy. He goes, but you're taking very good care of our home, our house. He says, I couldn't have asked for a finer mother for our children. He's just saying how he's still very much around you. And he does. Do you have a little boy? The boy he's showing me looks so much like him. Just take away the mustache, and it's spitting image. And I do feel that he's been trying to act like the little man of the house. Just let him know that his father is very proud of him for that. That he says, my children are very good children. They're respectful of their mother. And he said, I couldn't be prouder of them. And he said, I couldn't be prouder of you. He goes, I know that it's not easy doing this on your own. And I do feel that because he right away indicated that you do have family helping, but it's not the same. And he acknowledges that. He is just saying that, he says, I can't tell her how much she made my life perfect. He says, I do feel that he's a little bit on the shy side. I feel that he wasn't so much into public speaking, but he knew how much you needed to hear from him today. So he kind of he goes, I came in to quickly stop by. He goes, to let her know that I'm still there. I'm still around her. I love her. She always has my heart. So Nandita, I hope you're able to take this message and just know that your husband loves you very, very much.
She validated, she said tomorrow is her birthday and it's their 9th anniversary. Yeah, it's a pretty important day. And that they do have a boy. He is like his father. And she said that's all of that is right. Absolutely, my man. Well, isn't that awesome, Nandita? And Melissa says that is so sweet. I agree, Melissa. I agree, Kristen. It's an amazing message. Sarah is an amazing reader and blows my mind. So you guys, these are spirit-led readings. So that means you just listen in, and that means that you listen in and see if you know any of the spirits that she's channeling.
Yes. So one more message from him that he has. Since it's your birthday, he goes, wife, he goes, don't be sad. He goes, I want you to go and treat yourself. He goes, I just know that I'm there with you. But he goes, I don't want to see you. He's saying moping. He goes, this is how he's showing me. He goes, I don't want to see you going like this. He goes, I want to see you smile. You have such a beautiful smile. He says, go treat yourself. I don't know if it's a type of dessert, but he's showing me this really pretty little plate, and it has gold designs, and it almost looks like a white custard, and I see like a little green, I want to say a mint leaf, and it has like it almost looks like cinnamon dusting on it. So I'm not too sure if that is something, but I just keep feeling it's like a sweet dessert. But he's saying to enjoy. I hope you know what I'm trying to describe here. But you're welcome, Nandita. And I'm wishing you a happy birthday and a happy anniversary to both of you. Be gentle with yourself, okay?
Yeah. Alyssa said, shoo, we got me all misty-eyed over here listening. Yeah, Sarah does that. Sarah has that effect on many people. I put up Sarah's link so you can book with her. Anyone that's interested in booking with her. Arden, I am hiring. Please just go to the website and fill out the form. Tracy, I'm trying to get you that link. Tracy's having a hard time staying connected, so she wants to go over to YouTube. Okay.
Let's see who else we have here tonight.
Lots of people. Carrie Smith said, such a sweet message. Welcome, Wizzy Ian. And Heather. I understand, Heather, and that's why we do mediumship readings. And, our spirits aren't always going to come through in this reading. It would be impossible for Sarah to do a reading for everyone. Carrie said, I'm misty too. So I agree, Tracy, it is a beautiful reading, right?
So I do have, I have another young man here. I feel that he always seemed like he was in a rush, because how he comes in, he's like, his hair's kind of blowing back. He's like, did I miss it? He's very tall, very lanky. He keeps on showing me. So he had an Adam's apple that was like pronounced. He's got, his hair is like I want to say it almost looks more orange than red. I think he's a natural redhead. Bright blue eyes. He's got the freckles. I would put him, he looks very young for his age. So I want to say, to me, I would put him between like 18 to maybe 22, but I feel that he might have been a little bit older than that. And that has to do with like how he's dressed. He is wearing jeans. They're a darker blue jeans. He has a white dress shirt on, but he also has like a gray suit jacket. The shoes he's wearing, they do look like dress shoes. So that's where I say he looks young, but I feel he's a little bit older. He is very tall. Like I'm talking 6'2" at least. Very lengthy. Lanky, not lengthy, sorry. His hair is shorter. It's a little bit longer on top, kept short on the sides. I do feel that so he's showing me his hands. He's got really like long fingers, and then he shows me him playing the piano. I almost want to say that he might have been a piano teacher, because I also see him with a briefcase. He's really comical. So I see this briefcase and I see like almost like papers kind of sticking out of it, as so like when he was trying to rush. He says that he was never on time, but he's letting me know that he did like to talk. So he would kind of get into these conversations with people and then be like, oh no, I'm late, and then take off. Where he's showing me, so I do feel that he could drive, but his mode of transportation was more like buses, subways. So I'm getting like, I see buses, and then I see like, I feel like I'm in a tunnel, and then I see the subway and there's a bunch of people. It was just, he's making me feel that like, he was so used to being fast paced. Would anybody be able to take him?
Nothing yet.
So another thing, and I think this might have been one of his quirks. So he had a really odd taste in food. And when I say this, he's showing me him making his lunch. I see white bread. I see peanut butter, which you're thinking, what's odd? Then he adds what looks to be like sardines to this. And I feel like when he got flustered or he was shy, he would turn like, his face would turn red, because even though he showed that to me, he goes, but if you just try it, it's good. I think that maybe he might have tried to get people to try it, but I doubt hardly any did. I'm just going to see if he has anything else that he can share with us. So I do feel that he did have a wife. He's showing me a lady standing next to him. Mind you, what he's showing me, I don't believe that she's in spirit. She's so much shorter than him. She like barely comes up to his elbow, or so about here. Her hair was longer. It was blonde, nice cheekbones. Both of them were like very, very petite.
Small, like skinny and short.
Yeah. Well, so she was very petite. He was very skinny, but very tall.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant.
Hi, Andrea. Welcome. Okay, no one has claimed this person.
Okay. So I'm just going to ask him if he would stand aside, and I'll just see if someone else would like to come through.
Well, welcome, Andrea.
So I do have another lady stepping forward. I would put her maybe about 5'5", 5'6". She has darker hair. She kept her hair kind of pinned back and kind of in a bun. She had a beauty mark right here. Like she says, like just like Monroe. I don't know why, but like from her, I kind of get like this Italian vibes going on. I don't know what it is about her, but that's exactly what I feel. So when her hair is up, she also has like the bandana kind of tied around. How she's showing me, she's dressed in like jean overalls, and she has a white tank top underneath, and I see her painting. So I see the canvas. I feel that she was very, very artistic. Her main focus was painting. She loved gardening, because she's like running me through this really quickly. So she did have her studio, and that's what she calls it. It was I want to feel it was kind of like built onto her house, and I see like a bunch of windows, like kind of floor to ceiling in her studio. She has a lot of plants in there. And then when she takes me out, because there's a little side door, and I see like a flat stone path, and on either side, they're like flower beds, but more wild. You know, like how flower beds are usually like dug out and structured. And for her, she's showing me that she's very on a whim. So I see her, and she's like making a bunch of holes in the ground before these flowers came up, and just kind of like she's got these seed packets, and she's just like chucking them. And the result, she's letting me know that it took her a while to get them to grow, but the end result was like it basically made it look like just a wild garden. There was no rhyme or reason to it.
Just to go backwards, Tracy said that everything you said matched for somebody about the man, but he shaved his head.
The first man,
the
like
guy, I think. And she said, what age did you say?
For me, honestly, he looked anywhere between like maybe 19 to like 22, but I feel that he looked younger than what he originally was. Like he just had that youth look about him.
Okay. So Tracy, let us know if that matches.
He did, I want to say, play piano. I feel that he might have taught music as well. He's also
Kaylee asked about the woman. Are there any indicators of her giving up her son for adoption at a young age?
So when I see this lady, I want to say that she was in 40s to maybe 50s. She kept herself in good shape. As for a child, when I was asking her, I kept on hearing that song, Baby Mine. I feel that she's acknowledging a child, but I also get this sense that it's kind of a sore point of conversation for her. I think her indication of acknowledging was her playing that song, Baby Mine. For those of you who don't know that song, it's if anyone has ever seen the cartoon Dumbo, when Mrs. Jumbo is like rocking Dumbo in her trunk, and they sing that song, Baby of Mine, Don't You Cry. The more the song is playing, she's kind of wiping her eyes. So I would say that is her way of acknowledging. Would you understand her saying when she got pregnant, I feel that like her age, I want to say between 16, maybe 17. And I do feel that it was her decision, but it wasn't. So I'm feeling that she had a lot of people pressuring her into doing.
And at that young age, who knows, right?
Right.
All right. Well, she hasn't answered anything yet, but Tracy said, tall man, lanky, played piano, had a short wife, but he died at 40. So I'm not sure.
Okay, Tracy. would you indicate that, or would you know, I know you said that he was bald, but would you know if his hair color, his natural hair color, was that kind of orangey?
Okay, so that woman, Kaylee, said, my father spent his entire life looking for his biological mother. I've been aware of an older Italian woman in my spirit circle. He never knew his mom, but I have always felt very connected to her. I've been meditating deeply, trying to navigate her spiritual presence. Might be a sign for her, Kaylee, to like validate you.
Kaylee, so I don't, how I described how she looks to me, she's very beautiful. And I keep on getting this feeling that you have a lot of features. Like when people look at you, they could tell that you have Italian heritage. So she's got very nice cheekbones, very, very beautiful facial structure, dark eyes, a darker hair. When I see her, she carries herself with like that sense of pride. I do feel that she kind of threw herself into artwork, and that sense where she was showing me the garden where she just kind of let it go wild. I do feel that where she didn't like she's saying it was my choice, but it wasn't. That after in later years she was doing everything her way, because that she says, when I had to give my child, there was always that hole. And she goes, I made a promise to myself to not let anyone sway my decisions.
Yeah. She said that I did my ancestry and there was a lot of Northwest European heritage. The beauty mark is something I've seen in meditation.
It's just like right here. It's just, I honestly, I do feel that she is connected to you.
She said my dad was a doorstep baby. He was left in an orphanage.
I do feel that what she's indicating to me, that again, I feel that it might have been her own father that had a lot of say in what happened. The message and that she is saying, she goes, please tell my baby that I always loved him. I carried him in my heart. The one thing that always, she says, that was always playing on her mind was she always wondered about him. She says, please know that, let him know he was loved. She says he was blood of my blood.
Mm-hmm. She said that she said that I resonate so deeply with her energy. I too love cultivating art and the earth, and the adoption story never sat right with me.
That's very beautiful. So just,
she said she also got chills. So and she said that all he ever wanted was her love and presence. And so what I'm going to just say, Kaylee, is I usually teach that chills is yes.
Yes. And please, I'm not too sure how open your father is to mediumship and that. So I know sometimes when our loved ones give messages for their other loved ones who are still there, that sometimes it's hard. But the one thing that your grandmother wants to say is she always loved him, that he was never not wanted. She says that, she goes, if I could, she goes, I would have had him later where I made the decisions. But she says that, be proud of your heritage. she goes, you come from a long line of good people. She goes, even though she goes, I know the action of having to leave my baby like that might not seem that it was a good, she goes, but it was just a different time. And she's mentioning about the stigma of being a young unwed mother.
Mm-hmm.
She goes,
Yeah.
it wasn't just what people would say of me, but she's seen other young unwed mothers who kept their babies, and those children weren't treated the way, they were called. Well, she says, I didn't want people to call my son a bastard because he wasn't that. And I apologize for anyone who I say what spirits say to me.
It's okay. You're saying what other people would say anyway. So Sue said, absolutely warming, fabulous job, Sarah. And then Kaylee is also saying, thank you so much. Is there any indication of her cause of passing? This is going to bring my father so much peace. We have such beautiful genetics. Tell her I said thank you for her cheekbones. She said that makes a lot of sense. He was born in the late 50s. His adopted mother called him a bastard. Oh my.
Yeah, and I'll never understand if you're wanting to adopt a baby, you don't.
Why would you do
love
that?
them. Why would you do that if you're going to call them that? Oh, so your grandmother, when she heard that, so you know how she goes, she puts her hands like this, and she was like, she goes, to call my son that, and she spits on the ground, and she's just like, so just know, the mom who raised him, she goes, your grandmother says, if I would have known that, she goes, I would have just kept him. As for her means of passing, I do feel that it was just old age. That is what she's indicating to me. She goes, it was peaceful. She goes, I went to sleep and I woke up here. I do feel that she kind of talked with her hands, but she's sending you and your father so much love. And
Carrie Smith is saying she's misty again.
Just know that your father, she goes, I carried him in my soul. She goes, I might not have been able to carry him in my arms for very long, but he always stayed with me in my soul and my heart. And she says, just let him know that his mama, that's how she says, his mama, she goes, he was everything. She goes, I remember, so how she's letting me know that after he was born, like she had to beg to let them just hold him once. And she goes, she goes, he's such a beautiful, beautiful baby. She goes, I'll always see him. She goes, when I close my eyes, that's how I see him. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional here, but if you or your father ever wanted a more private reading with me, feel free to book. I do feel that she does have a little bit more to say, but I do feel that she'd like it be a little bit more on the private.
Yeah. There might be some private things that she'd like to talk about, but she probably can't. So I gave you the link there, Kaylee, so you can, you're welcome, Kaylee. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's very sweet. I hope your dad's open-minded about it. So Tracy is saying, let me just go back to her message real quick.
Sure.
Tracy said that he did have reddish orange hair, the tall, skinny guy. She said that you're amazing, Sarah. Is a beautiful message. And please tell me more about the tall, lanky man. He did have reddish hair when he didn't shave it.
Okay. So I'll just ask him. First, I want to just say thank you for the First Lady coming through. Before I go, I don't know if the names, so I don't often get names, but I kept on hearing with her, it sounded like a Sophia, and I heard Maria. So I don't know if those names mean anything to you. But with that, I'm hoping that you might want to book later for more private reading, and we can get more into that. So
Kaylee said that he's incarcerated, but she's asking, would you be willing to just speak with her? And I said, yeah.
Yes, of course. She says, yes. She goes, I'd like to know my granddaughter. I do, mind you, Kaylee, your grandma does. She says that she's around you because she says once I was over here, she goes, I'm free. I go where I want. No one tells me what to do. But I think just having that more one-on-one, you guys can both get to know each other.
Crystal said you're amazing. So much feeling and depth. Amazing reading. I agree. All right. We're going to dive back in for Tracy real quick.
So, Tracy, was this man like I keep on feeling that there is a family connection. I keep leaning more towards like uncle. I do feel that, again, like where I said, he seemed like he was always on the go. I do feel that, his life was shorter than what he expected. I'm not too sure if he smoked or so. I was kind of like getting that kind of like taste, that cigarette taste in my mouth. And then I'm not too sure if he had issues with his throat or like his lungs. So it kind of felt more like heavy feeling. And then I feel kind of almost like and I've only felt this when I used to smoke. I don't smoke anymore. 5 years now.
Good job.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
For those of you who do smoke, that feeling where it almost feels like it's burning. So I am getting that with him. I'm not too sure if he, like I said, was a smoker because he's not showing me signs that he was, but I'm getting that like cigarette taste in my mouth.
She said he did smoke, but he quit. Okay.
Okay. Congratulations. Would you be able to take if he was he an uncle to you or a family member?
She said he was a best friend, godfather, kind of like an uncle. I can see that being a harder thing to describe. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So his message that I'm getting from him is that, he goes, a lot of people, he says, I hear them, they wondering how I'm doing. Like, not so much like he's saying, not like just random everyday people, but more of his immediate family. And he goes, I'm doing good. He goes, I'm here. He goes, he's laughing. He goes, I finally learned to sit down and relax. So he's showing me too, when he quit smoking, did he kind of change his habit to like more chewing gum or like suckers? So he's showing me like him opening gum packs and popping in his mouth. And then at other times I see him with like a sucker, but then he had this like motion where he'd put it in his mouth and then like kind of take it out and hold the sucker between the stem or the stick, sorry, between his fingers. I think for him, it was like more the motion.
Okay. I kind of did that, but I did it with cinnamon sticks and licorice sticks.
Right? Mine was gum.
Mm.
Chewed so much gum, my jaw was.
She said, "Oh my gosh," she's laughing. She's like, "Gum and lollipops." Oh my gosh, she's laughing really hard. She's here. I'm going to show you the message. It's so funny.
That's awesome. So, would you understand? I do feel that, like, when he started shaving his head, and that it was. So how he's making me feel, he's like, he literally says, and I don't know if maybe he was kind of going through that midlife crisis thing, but he says that he goes, I needed something different. And he goes, I was tired of looking like such a boyish, because when his hair was longer, it was like, he said it was always just kind of sticking up all over the place. So I feel that, like, he would shave his head, and then did he grow a goatee too? Or played around with different, like, facial hair? I do feel that he's just saying to me that, everyone, he goes, people would like to crack jokes at my expense. And even though he was good natured and kind of just like, whatever, do what you got to do, he at some point kind of started changing things a little bit. So where he showed me where he was like tall, lengthy, he's showing me him like kind of doing the gym, trying to build muscle, shaved his head. He's saying that my wife thought I was going crazy. Like, what are you doing? I don't know if he said that. I don't know if he actually got a tattoo, but he's making, so how he's showing me, he drew something on like a part of his arm, and he was like kind of showing his wife, like, I want this, and she's like, what are you doing? Like, I do feel that in that moment, there was like a little bit of tension between them. He says that he loved his wife so much, but where all of a sudden he was just making these big changes, it freaked her out. Tracy, I hope you can take this.
Oh, she said, hold on. She said, spot on, Sarah. She said, spot on, Sarah. He did try and grow a beard, but it didn't work out very well. And then she said, yeah, he went through a really huge transformation. Wow. Well done, Sarah. Well done.
Well, Tracy, just to let you know, he is doing good. He said that he made peace with who he was and who he is.
His wife did think he was crazy.
He goes, maybe a little bit. He goes, he wants to say to his wife that, so he's making an indication that when he was going through all those changes, that he goes, just let her know, no, she was my one and only. And he goes, and I'm leaving it at that. He goes, I'm a one-woman man. But I just feel that where he was like making all this, that at a time she kind of thought, are you stepping out on me? That's what he's saying. He goes, no, I never stepped out on her. Never would, never could. So that his message is just, he says, I love you all, accept you for you. And he goes, don't be afraid to tell someone that when they're making a joke or something at your expense. He goes, yeah, there's some that are funny, but if it makes you feel like less than what you are, he goes, don't be afraid to speak up. He goes, I wish that I would have spoke my truth a little bit more. So that is his message to you. And I honestly think it's kind of for everyone, you know.
I agree. I've said that a couple times that reading messages are for everyone.
It's just, and I noticed the theme tonight is basically self-acceptance and, you know, not doubting. So that's what he's saying for not only you, Tracy, but his other loved ones and for everyone.
I agree, Andrea. Sarah's very talented.
Thank
Um, yeah, I agree. And there's a question here I want to address. Michelle Brown said, I've always wondered this. Why do people seem to pass around the holidays? I work in a nursing home and see it all the time around the holidays. Even my own family passed around a different holiday. Okay, so Michelle, most of the time it's because of the astrology, actually. It's actually an astrology thing. A lot of holidays mark certain astrological events, actually, including winter solstice, which also known as Christmas. It's actually the 20th, okay? But in astrology, 4 or 5 days outside of that, the 20th is not that unusual, okay? And a lot of times what happens is the stars and the planets, they kind of open up, and we have these exit points. And if you're meant to pass at that time, you'll pass. Or if you're sick. And that's why death astrology can be helpful. But also, when I look at your death astrology chart, I can see that. Do you have any other ideas, Sarah, why they might pass around the holidays?
Well, you know, especially because when you said about nursing homes,
Mm-hmm.
and as much as, you know, we don't want to think about it, but especially for our elderly people, there are some who are blessed to have their family around. And, you know, there's some that don't get visitors at all. And, you know, Michelle, for you actually working with them and trying to make it as bright as you possibly can, you know, I'm proud of you for that. I do feel that, especially with our elderly in this time, you know, you hear about seasonal depression, but just the loneliness, and they're fragile. You know, any little cold can turn into something huge and horrific. I do agree with Hollis about the astrology and the exit points. Also, just even not just with the elderly, but other people. So where I live in Canada, in Alberta, the roads get extremely icy, and people are always rushing, especially where they feel that they need to go to this store to get that present. And, you know, accidents happen. I just feel that there's so much that comes into play about the why and the how. And sometimes there is no rhyme or reason that you can make yourself accept. So for this one, I honestly just say that how Hollis described it makes the best. It's the best sense, you know, the best. I could sit here and tell you a million different reasons, but at the same time, I haven't a clue. You know, my son passed November 26th. Yes, it was from COVID, but even now, there's no rhyme or reason for me. It just, some things happen. And I really feel that it just seems like with everything, like how I mentioned, the seasonal depression, you know, and I'm not saying that people are, you know, taking their own lives. It just sometimes, especially with older people too, is that it's, I don't know if anyone ever heard of kind of broken heart syndrome, but I could see that happening. I could, you know, sometimes
I also used to work in nursing homes.
right?
I'd say that sometimes but sometimes people have family there every day,
Right.
and they still pass at Christmas time. I think it's just the stars, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
I do have, so, and this is what I'm hearing from some of the
Some of your guides, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say this, and I'm not trying to sound harsh or uncaring because I'm far from that, but I keep hearing it's just the luck of the draw.
Yep.
And I hope
It
everyone here,
often is.
right?
Yeah.
I hope that everyone can take that as like how it's meant to be and not just some dismissive, because I would never do that.
Of course not. But look, I think people are resonating with what you said. It's very true. Someone said, yeah, broken heart syndrome is real. And, amazing readings from Sherry Ward said. And Amanda said, you have an amazing talent.
Thank you,
You're a
Emma.
beautiful soul. Tracy said, thank you.
You,
Carrie
Tracy.
said, my father passed on Christmas Day. It's the worst. Yeah, it's tough, huh? Maybe instead, just celebrate him on Christmas Day. Screw Christmas, celebrate him. Make it like
Right.
his special day. Um, yeah, so Tracy said, thank you so much, Sarah.
Oh, you're welcome, Tracy. I appreciate
Those,
each and every one of you.
yeah, it's a beautiful, well done tonight, Sarah. You've done a great job. Great job doing the readings tonight. I think that you're amazing and talented. Um, Adam, I want to say there's something off in your system. I do wellness reports. There's something wrong with your system. Anyway, um, Michelle said she just wondered.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
honestly
it's okay.
okay. Knowledge is power, and have you got questions, ask them. You're never gonna
Yep.
know.
Tomorrow night I'm doing a question and answer, so I'll be on here doing Q&A with y'all. I hope you join in. Bring your questions tomorrow night. I'll be doing question and answer, and I'll probably do some death astrology. I'm thinking maybe doing it Friday evening or Saturday. I'm not sure yet. I'll make my decision and announce it in the group. If you got a reading with Sarah tonight, make sure you try to write her a little review in the group. Please take your time to book with Sarah. Sarah is available for one-on-one Zoom readings. All the readings are recorded for you. We kind of keep them for a little while, but not really for very long, actually. We hope that you'll download it because we can't store it. We can only store it for a week or so. But you get the recording with your reading. And we're here for you. And the good news is you don't have to worry about scammers. You've already met me. You've met Sarah. I run Psychic Insights, and Sarah is one of the readers there. Sarah's actually the first reader ever, and other than me. And she's very talented. And I've loved watching Sarah grow. And I hope that you enjoy her beautiful talents. Pretty spot on and pretty amazing and detailed, and I appreciate that about Sarah. So I also want to suggest that maybe you book a reading with her. The link is you can book with Sarah at psychicinsights.life/Sarah Redcrow -2. Don't forget the -2. That's in honor of her son because he insisted on it. We tried to get it out of there, wouldn't let us take us out, so we just said screw it.
Right. And
So,
it makes sense because he helps me. I write all my reading. I mostly doodle, but I have my book and it says Sarah and Jonah's medium reading notes.
wow.
So the
Wow.
-2, we're a team.
Yeah, Melissa, Sarah's very good at all the evidence. Most of our readers are pretty evidential, but Sarah's very detailed. So if you enjoyed that, maybe you want to book a reading with her, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow night. And I enjoyed you being here tonight, Sarah. Thank you for being here. Do you have anything you want to say?
I just want to thank everyone again for all your kindness and your support. I do love the reviews, so they mean more to me than anything. So thank you for that. I hope that you all just be gentle with yourself, hold space for yourself and your loved one. And it's okay to not be okay. And I find, acknowledging the days where you're not 100%, I think that's really important. So thank you again, and thank you, Hollis, for giving me this opportunity and having faith and trust in me. And I just want to thank my son, Jonah, for helping me, and thank each and every one of your loved ones who came through tonight. It truly is a blessing and an honor to me. So thank you all. And
Thanks,
stay safe.
Jonah. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks.
Oh my God.
I love
Jonah
it.
gave me some balloons. Okay. All right. Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Are you seeking guidance on your spiritual journey? Need help with a vexing problem? Missing a loved one and looking for answers? Look no further than Psychic Insights, a small trusted psychic service offering mediums, psychics, and spiritual coaching. This service is managed by Hollis Taylor, a gifted psychic medium, astrologer, and a compassionate coach. We are dedicated to helping you navigate your spiritual awakening. At Psychic Insights, we provide medium readings and psychic insight to help you plan for tomorrow and make choices for today. Find the support you need, compassionate grief coaching, and astrological insights to help you spiritually grow and transform. Our professional services include well-managed schedules, recorded sessions, and reliable psychic mediums ready to facilitate your transformational experience. Discover more at psychicinsights.life.